Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Artist Next Level podcast. I am very happy to be here with you today. And it's going to be a special episode because I'm going to share with you my newest curatorial project that you can submit and participate as well. And the best part, it's free. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a great episode.
Resources, inspiring interviews, business practices, and practical advice to take your art career to the next level. Join Sergio Gomez in today's Artist Next Level and get ready to take control of your career.
Well, my friends, as usual, happy to be back. It is a cold morning here in Chicago, winter morning here in Chicago, and we have snow outside, and it's cold, and I think we're supposed to get more snow. You never know, but that's how it is here in this neck of the woods in Chicago. But my friends, super happy to connect with you. It's been a crazy, last few days. And I want to share with you my latest project. It's a curatorial project that I think you're going to be all excited about. I am very excited for it. And that's why I'm a bit late with this episode here in the podcast because all kinds of, things in preparation to the launch of the new project, have been getting on the way for me to sit down in front of the microphone and hit record. So here I am, in between running all kinds of errands and things for this new project. So, I don't want to keep you waiting for too long. It's maybe a short episode, but it's a good one. So I want to share with you this idea that I've been working for a while and I've been putting together, and I just launched it a couple days ago. And what I'm going to be doing is something called Sergio Gomez Curates. So I have already a domain name, which is www.sergiogomezcurates.com, where I will be curating online exhibitions on a consistent basis. And because they are online, there's no limit of space. Because they're online, artists don't have to ship art to the gallery, which is great. So I can work and promote more of the artists from around the world. And I can continue my curatorial practice as well, which now expands for quite a few years. And so I think this makes total sense, and I want to tell you more about this. So, the whole thing started because, of course, prior to the pandemic, I've been curating a lot, besides being an artist and doing my podcast and coaching artists and running my gallery, 33 Contemporary. I've also been curating, both for my gallery, 33 Contemporary, and also for a big art center here in Chicago known as the Joby Art Center. As well as, I've been doing a lot of guest curating for other institutions, for also museums and art fairs and things like that, right? Things that happen and get invited to curate or co-curate with others. So I've been super active with that, and I love it. It's something that I grew into myself as I started my gallery and then becoming curator for the Joby Art Center. Something that, I totally love to do, and it fascinates me, finding work and finding artists to work with, and the whole experience of putting something together for the public to come and enjoy and get a glimpse of contextualizing the art, that is selected, in that exhibition for people to experience and to see and perhaps discover new artists that they didn't know about. So, of course, the pandemic hit last year in March 2020, and as you all know, and probably as you experienced too, exhibitions got postponed, canceled, put back in the burner, delayed, and it's just been like that for everybody, right? Everybody. And of course, really quickly, in the art world, a lot of galleries and museums started going online too and doing things online. And so very fast, platforms that had been, kind of already putting together, tools for galleries to create online exhibitions had been around for a while. They were not new, but because of the pandemic, they got, this, I think they speed up the process of getting better at it. And I've tested a lot of platforms and finally found that I really like, because it works great on the mobile, it works great on the computer, on a desktop, and that's something I've always been looking for. And the also the easiness in which you enter the 3D-dimensional virtual gallery space and walk around, something that I really enjoyed. So I decided, and actually I've used that for a couple shows last year, which were very successful online. So I decided for this year, 2021, is to start curating more exhibitions online. I think it has come to a place where there are still many parts of the world that are in lockdown or on and off, and there are still a lot of issues with shipping artwork as well. There are delays in shipping. So if you are in an exhibition in another part of the world and you have to ship it, you have to give yourself more time, and there's a lot of delays and things like that we have experienced even with our own gallery as well. So, thinking about this and also how to support more artists, give artists more visibility, I decided to create this initiative. It's called Sergio Gomez Curates. So Sergio Gomez Curates, what's going to be is pretty much my curatorial practice put up to better use right now, using the best technology that we have available to us, using also all my marketing skills and my social media platforms and skills, to promote this and really give more artists an opportunity. Now, as you all know, one of the biggest problems with jury shows that you encounter, there are tons of them, is that, let's say you see a jury show that might be a good fit for your work, and either it's online or in person, and the submissions fees are very expensive. So you can spend, between $25 to $60 on a submission, and as you all know, it is very difficult to get in. And if you don't get in, well, you lost your, 60, 20, 50, whatever the submission fee was, and you will not see that money come back to you, right? And it's a system in which more and more it benefits the venue and not the artist, particularly during pandemic times. So I wanted to do something about it, and what I have done is, through the sponsorship of the Artist Next Level program, which is my coaching program, through that, and of course the Artist Next Level podcast that you're listening to, create these Sergio Gomez Curates initiative in a way that is free to submit. So all the exhibitions that I will curate throughout the year online through the Sergio Gomez Curates initiative will be free, totally free to the artists. So artists will be able to really easily submit their work if they find a call that fits their work, and they can submit totally free. And if they get selected to participate, they will also not be charged anything. So it's totally free for that. All the artwork that is shown on these platforms, on my shows, on Sergio Gomez Curates, all the artwork will be linked directly to the artist's website or Instagram account, either one, so that all inquiries and traffic and sales goes directly to the artist. I will not be involved in any of that, to make it easier, because we'll have artists from around the world, and I don't want to get into that mix of that. So if somebody comes to the show and is interested on a particular piece, which by the way we're going to be promoting the heck out of it, of those shows, they can go directly to the artist. The artist can make the revenue that they deserve, and all we did was a platform to connect the audience to the artist. So that's what I'm very excited about this, and I'm super pumped. So we launched it. We launched the very first call to artists, and I want to tell you about this. And, because it's the first one, it's a very tight deadline, because we had some delays with the domain name, and it was kind of a crazy thing there. We're still kind of dealing with some things online with the domain, but it's working and it's up and running. And the first show that I'm curating, that I'm inviting everyone to submit, which is, again, totally free, you can nothing to lose, is called Red Is. Red as the color red, R-E-D, and then is for red is, and then fill in the blank. Red is love, or red is war, or red is power. All these things. Red is one of those intense colors in the spectrum that easily recognized by the eye, that stimulates all kinds of emotions in ourselves. It's a color that you can think of it as February color of love and Valentine's and good things and warm fuzzy feelings and kindness and all these wonderful beautiful things. The sun down during a beautiful sunset. at the same time is the color of blood, the color of power, the color of struggle, and so many other emotions that come with that, right? So red has this beautiful, range of emotional experiences associated with it that I wanted to create the first exhibition called Red Is, and inviting artists to share with the viewer, right, their own expression of how, of the color red in their own work, in their own style. So I don't want artists to create something that is out of their style for these shows. The idea is, as I release the calls for artists can find, what already benefits or what already fits the type of work that they are doing. In other words, don't make a red painting just because you have a show of, or red or with the title red, because it's not about that, right? It's not about rushing something just for the call. It's about seeing what calls already fit your work. And unlike many other shows that, the work has to be recent, or the work has to be within the last year, or never been seen on social media, I don't care about any of that. I believe a good work is always work. So you have a work that's from 20 years old and it's an amazing work, and I put a call for something and you think this will be like really good work, even if you already sold it, or it's in a museum or a gallery, or who knows, or maybe you don't even have it anymore, it's still a good work. And because the show is online, is virtual, I think other people deserve to see it. And that's the whole premise of Sergio Gomez Curates, to lift some of these restrictions that sometimes we have as we work in the typical exhibition space. So, and again, because there are less limitations on those things, on shipping, on, it kind of opens up a whole lot of opportunities. So this is the crazy thing. So we just released the call for artists. I just put it on social media, on my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, my LinkedIn, my TikTok. Maybe you may have seen it on any of those platforms. And that's it. I just put it there. And within 24 hours, we have already received over 200 and I think now over 270 or something. I'm sure we're going to pass 300 submissions already. So in less than 48 hours, I'm sure we'll have over 300 submissions for this call, which is amazing. It's just amazing because, again, it's opening up the opportunities to more artists who perhaps, because of what's going in COVID, they will not be able to submit to any shows right now because of financial situations. So that is great. Now, that means also that the competition to get in the shows will be very strong, will be very fierce. And but it's part of the game. It's part of what it takes and what it is. And I will use my best curatorial hat to select works that I think will work really beautiful and really well together for each of the exhibitions. Each exhibition will also have its own restrictions, sometimes maybe a restriction of size or theme or whatever, because it's part of the curatorial process, right? It's not a call that is for everybody and everybody can enter. That's why I'm emphasizing, you want to look at which calls fit you and then apply to those calls. And my goal, hopefully, is to curate a show either every month or every 2 months, depends how big is the show. So for this first one that's called Red Is, the call is already out. You can already submit, and it's a very tight, very, very tight a deadline because, again, I'm running it as a it's kind of like the first show, right? So unlike many other calls too that, you have like 3 months to submit or things like that, and then you forget about it, or, mostly because you also have to keep in mind the time of shipping for shows, things like that. My calls will be fast, will be quick deadlines. So artists who want to participate, they have to keep an eye on my calls, and if they miss it, they miss it, right? That's how it is. We cannot, please everyone. So, it will be tight deadline. So this particular show, the deadline to submit is Sunday the 7th. So we only had a one week window for submissions. And that is okay because we already have tons of them. So imagine if we had open for 2 months, right? It would be thousands of them. So it has to be manageable because I still am an artist. I have to have time to make my own art and continue making the podcast and my video content and coaching artists and running my gallery and everything else. So this is a passion project, and in order to help artists as well get more exposure. So the deadline is on Sunday the 7th. On Sunday the 7th is the absolute deadline at midnight. If you want to, Chicago time, if you want to submit for the show, totally free to submit, totally free if you get selected. And on the 7th, right away on the Monday, we're going to do the selection of the works. And on Monday the 8th, I will announce in my social media the selected artists. We are probably for the first show going to select around 30 to 40 works. That's my estimate right now. So it's going to be very tight, very tight. But it's going to be a beautiful exhibition. I've already picked on some of the entries. It's going to be stunning. It's going to be great. So again, the announcement will be on the 8th. That gives us, me and my team about 4 days or so, weekdays to put together the show online and get it all out and running so that the exhibition will officially open to the public online, virtually, for everyone to see and enjoy and visit on February 14th, Valentine's Day. But of course, the show is not about Valentine's, okay? I just, think that's great. It's a Sunday. It's a perfect Valentine's Day, easy to remember. And of course, the title of the show is Red Is. But again, it's not a Valentine's show. Although, some of the pieces may be about love, but it's not a love show. It's about the whole range of emotions that red, brings to our attention. So that's the project. And the first one, again, opens on the 14th. And then after that, we'll keep it open. I'm thinking probably doing also a virtual event online for the artists who participate and their friends and things like that, and promote it really heavily all throughout. And hopefully then, if everything works as scheduled and everything works well with this first one, then in March we'll have a new show. And so I will then probably announce it again towards pretty much almost very quickly after this first one. We'll announce the topic or the theme for the next show and start accepting submissions and so on. So if you're interested in the first show that is called Red Is, a couple things. First of all, there's a restriction of number of pieces you can submit. You can only submit 2 pieces. Submission is super easy, because that's another thing. I wanted to create a system that artists can easily find information, easily to submit, and you don't have to learn something new. Or, as when you submit to a show, a lot of times there's so many, like some websites are so confusing. This one, you submit by email. I'll give you the email. I'll give you the form that you just copy, paste it in your email, answer the questions, name, title, medium, all that stuff. And then you attach one artwork per email and you send it out. As simple as that. That's it. You will get an automatic reply from that email account. It's a specific email account just made for the show, that it will notify you that we received it. Simple. That's it. And you don't need to email us to ask if we got it or so on. It's all automated. It's going to be super cool. And then what's going to happen then on the 8th, I will announce on my Instagram and all social medias for that matter of fact, probably that afternoon, we'll announce the winners or the selected artists for the show. So if you want to submit, again, up to 2 pieces, up to 2 works. Now, there's also a size restriction. For this first show, there's a size restriction. The artwork must be, for the Red exhibition, must be no smaller than 32 inches on any size. In other words, if you measure your artwork and it's 40 by 30, well, that's too small, right? Because the smallest size of the artwork must be at least 32 inches or 81 centimeters. If you are outside of the United States, 81 centimeters minimum size, or 32 inches minimum size. So in other words, 32 inches or 81 centimeters or bigger, right? For this particular show, I'm looking for artwork that is mid to large size. And there are curatorial reasons why I'm doing that, for how I envision the show. Now, if you have artwork that's smaller, well, don't worry about it. There'll be more exhibitions which will have their own different restrictions, right? I'm not making shows that are for everybody. They are very specific. There's specific vision for each curatorial show. Some shows will have other restrictions, and that's how it is. This particular exhibition called Red is also only for two-dimensional work, and mainly for the two-dimensional work is because unfortunately, because it's a virtual show, it's really difficult to capture sculptural works. And yeah, I know there are software out there that can do it, blah, blah, blah. I just don't have time to do that. So right now I'm focusing on what I can do and how I can help, and that is curating these shows with two-dimensional media. So 2D means anything that's photography, painting, drawing, printmaking, collage, you name it, right? As long as it's within those measurements and it's that bigger, that's great. And particularly for artists who have beautiful, amazing, large works and they have hard time showing it in venues because either they're too big, too expensive to ship, too large to show, things like that. Also, I think this will be a really stunning exhibition. And I can't wait to really share it with you guys once the show is up and running. So this is my new initiative, my friends. I really wanted to take the time to share with you here in the podcast, because I know you've been with me for a while, and I know so many of you, hundreds of you who listen every week to the Artist Next Level podcast. I want to support you too with this. And by the way, if you find that, well, this show maybe it's a great show, but you don't have work that large, that's fine. Don't be sad about it. There will be more opportunities. Just keep an eye on them. Go to www.sergiogomezcurates.com, and that's where you can find all the information about this show. That's where you can submit for the show. That's how you can also sign up so that you get notifications by email for the next upcoming calls for artists. So check that out. Go to sergiogomezcurates.com, like curator, but like curates, like the present. Sergio Gomez Curates. I'm curating right now. So sergiogomezcurates.com. And I would love to see your entry. And just know that it's going to be a very tight exhibition. I'm looking forward to also discover artists that I don't know about. I don't think that I'm just going to pick my friends, because that's not the point of these shows. The idea is to really have a variety of works, the whole gamut of emotions for this Red is. And it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward. And of course, as I announce this, the reality is that the big majority, probably 90% of artists will not get in the show because the space is limited, right? The exhibition space that I'm using for the virtual space, is also limited. And so don't be sad if or disappointed if you don't get in. That's how it is. Just say, well, this one didn't work. I'm going to keep an eye on what other calls for artists you has. And that's how it is, right? And that's why it's free, so that you don't lose any money when you don't get in the show. It happens to me as well. I'm an artist just like you do. And, more the things that I've submitted often are thanks but no thanks. So, this kind of gives an opportunity to everyone to submit without the risk of financial situation. So hope this will help their community. I hope, also with this that a lot of art lovers will visit these exhibitions. We're going to promote it really heavily. We're putting also a budget for marketing for these shows too. So it's going to be really fabulous, and we look forward to continue supporting you, my friend, in this endeavor. And the art career is hard. The art career is difficult, and the more we can do, it's great. And for those of us who have marketing experience and entrepreneurial initiatives and have some small power in what things we can do, of course, I'm here to help. So we're going to put that to your service, and, check it out. So all I'm inviting you to do, call for action on this podcast, actually two calls to action. One of them, make sure that you go to www.sergiogomezcurates.com, sergiogomezcurates.com. Also, you can find the link from my Instagram profile. So just go to Sergio Gomez Art on Instagram. Sergio Gomez Art, click on my profile link, and it's right there. You will see right there, Sergio Gomez Curates. Just click it. And the second, tell your friends about it. Please forward this podcast to any other artists that you know. If you are an educator, if you are a teacher, if you also are a professor at college or university, or you do workshops for other artists, do me a favor, and as soon as this podcast is over, just share this podcast. You have a little share button, whatever you're listening to. If it's an app or on the web, just click the share button and send it to your friends. You can share the episode on your Facebook or anywhere else. It'll be great if they listen to this conversation so they know what this whole thing is all about. And for the calls, they have to be 18 years or older to submit. So it's also students, who may be, or professional artists who also can are more than welcome to submit to the call. So thanks, my friends, for sticking around with me for about 20 minutes. I gotta go because I gotta keep promoting the heck out of this show, and then I gotta get in my studio, and then I gotta record another video for a course that I'm working on, which is gonna be awesome too. So thank you. I hope you have an amazing day. Love you so much, my friends, and thanks for listening. Bye.
Check out our website at www.theartistnextlevel.com, where you will find our podcast library, learn about our upcoming webinars, find resources relevant to your career, and much more. Thanks for listening to today's podcast, and we'll see you at the next level.